Hi everyone, I'm back with another build, and today joining me is the cutest guest hotel, Kabuki. He is so cute. I am very partial to the cranky villagers, so seeing him suddenly was such a good surprise. It was so nice to see him, and he's so cute. I love it. Today we're gonna be building a yard for Judy and Butch, and you can see me here get slightly lost on my own island, and but we're going to come up here, and you're gonna see that the entrance towards their yards and their houses is still, of course, undecorated, and we'll fix that later. But over here we have Judy to, I guess, supervise me fixing up her yard. And well, you know what, I get it. Like, if someone went up to me and said, hey, you know that house that you have, yeah, we're gonna have someone like completely overhaul how it looks at the front. um but you know, Judy, I work hard to make this island look nice. You can trust me even just a little bit. But so I don't mind her supervising, so she's gonna hang around there for a while. I trust her opinion as well. It was mostly because her fur matches the tiles that I use. But anyway, it's so interesting, actually, the reason why I had ended up deciding to have Judy and Butch live right next to each other. And it's mostly because you know, I noticed, I was like, I feel like they give off the same vibe, the same energy. Like, to me, the crankies and the snooties are just kind of like counterparts of each other. So they really felt so similar to me, and like, I felt like, just with the way that they are, they would definitely want to be living like at the back of the island, because again, this island is city core for the most part. So I feel like, especially towards the front of the island, we have like villagers like Biscuit and Shino and Sasha. So they're like very Raymond as well. So like very high energy, energetic, and just very uh, peppy and stuff like that. So I feel like Butch and Judy would very much appreciate being able to go home to a area where it's just kind of just them, where they can just kind of relax and have a little time of peace and quiet to themselves. But there is something about how this ended up being this way, is because, so a little backstory. Okay, so this island is my, like, it's been with me since launch day. So I've had it for near coming up to 6 years now, and so it's gone through so many phases and everything. And so I had overhauled this just recently. It used to be like a very natural, not exactly cottage core, but like just very natural looking island, until I decided to sort of make it a city core. But anyway, when I had this island and I had been playing it as that aesthetic for a while, I had a head canon wherein Judy was actually in a relationship with one of my favorite villagers, Pico. And so that was my head canon. And um uh that was the story that I had in my head. And I was like, okay, so I had been playing, and they were living right beside each other and everything like that. And then I stopped playing, as we do with Animal Crossing, where you just kind of like um forget about it for a little while, and then you come back to it and you play it like a mad person. But so that happened. uh Stop playing Animal Crossing for like 6 months, and then I come back, and one of the first interactions I had was of um Pico asking me to give Ione, who I also have on my island, a gift. And in my head I was like, well, that is so cute of my girl. Like, of course you're gonna give your wife a gift. And so I was like, okay, la 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 la. And then I go over and I give Ione her gift. And so when I come back, Pico had gone back to her house. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to her house and just kind of finish off the interaction so I can let her know that I gave Ione her gift. And I go inside her house and I noticed something weird because I had redecorated everybody, all the villager houses. And in Pico's villager house is a picture of Judy. And it all comes flooding back to me. And I'm like, oh God, I got it completely wrong. Like literally, the people, like the ones that were in a relationship was actually Judy and Pico and not Ione. But like it just made so much sense right away that Pico would ask to give a gift to Ione because like in my false memory, it was Ione that she was married to. And so then the new the head canon is born of like, oh my gosh, that is so scandalous. For the 6 months that I wasn't here, the power couple of Pico and Judy broke up, and now it seems like Pico found love very fast and is now suddenly married to Ione. And so I was like, oh my gosh, that changes everything. So I just kind of went with it because it feels like the stories write themselves. And I was just like, oh man, like I'm so happy because I was just like, if you see the way Ione and Pico interact on my island, it's just like they are such wives. They really are. So I was like, oh, that is so perfect. Like that makes so much sense. And so now they live right beside each other, and they have this like very married looking yard, and it's very obnoxious, and all of the villagers are just like, yep, that is the island's number one couple right there. Like, okay. And so I was like, that's so cute. I'm so happy for Pico. But then I was like, but I love my girl Judy. And so then I started to think, so what does that mean for Judy in terms of like rebuilding her life here on the island? Because it's like the breakup was amicable for sure, because like, you know, Judy and Pico are still definitely on good terms. There was no bad blood. It wasn't a messy breakup at all. They were very mature about it. But of course, like no matter how good a relationship is, losing someone so important to you and like grieving that type of relationship has always got to be super hard. So I was like, of course, like Judy would need a space for her to be able to like rebuild and heal and just kind of like pick herself back up off her feet. So I was like, for sure that means that she would basically ask to be relocated to somewhere quieter, and Judy is just like, you know what, this time I think I'm going to invest more on myself and just really focus on just like getting, you know, like focusing on myself and doing things that I want to do, and just not really giving so much of myself to another person. So I feel like the way that she did that is that she was like, yeah, let me live somewhere at the back of the island where I can kind of just have time for myself so I can ruminate. And then enter Butch. Now Butch is actually the latest person that I moved into my island. And he's so cute. Like he's just such a cute, he's so grumpy. I'm very very partial about the cranky villagers. Like it's although my number one favorite villager is Biscuit, I feel like for the guys, my favorite personality type is the cranky ones, and for the girls it's definitely Snooty, even though my favorite one of my favorite villagers is Pico, and she's normal. I love them with a little sass, you know. So again, Butch is like one of he's the latest one to move into my island, and so I was like, well, he doesn't seem like the type to kind of really want to be around the hustle and bustle of the city, although he does like living, you know, where stuff is happening. So I think he would definitely be picking a spot where he could just rest and find some quiet in the day. And so he moves in right next to Judy. And when he does, Judy's just like, oh man, I thought I had this place all to myself. But then she was just like, whatever. What can you do when you live in a city? I mean, it's impossible to expect to have your own space. So she's like, okay, I just hope that my neighbor's nice. And then they start to get moved in. They start to get a little more settled into their space. And then they realize, what the heck? Why is this person living next to me literally laying out all the same stuff that I'm laying out? Like, they're fixing up their garden and they're literally planting the same flowers. I have this plant that I took from my hometown, my birds of paradise, and my neighbor right next to me has the same one. Why do they have the same, like, gardening boots? What's happening? And my chair that I like to put right beside my house so I can have very peaceful and introspective twilights to myself, is this the exact same one? Like, and they like to put it where I like to put it. And so that was my headcanon. Like, Judy and Butch just kind of like, why is this person literally me? Like, did they steal my stuff? Are they messing with me? Am I being pranked? Like, is this a thing that happens on this island? And so that was kind of like how it was born. And it was in my headcanon, it's like they kind of learned to live right next to each other and realize that, no, I really think we're just really into the same type of thing. And then I imagined them like sitting in these chairs that I laid out, and during twilight, they would both sit down and just kind of have an introspective moment to themselves, and they wouldn't even say anything to each other. They would just kind of sit in silence right beside each other, and then they both just kind of like appreciate that they're not really into small talk, and it's just kind of nice having someone beside you and not feel the pressure to kind of fill in the silence. And yeah, that's my headcanon for right now. Like, I think I'm just while I was making this headcanon, I was getting so giddy because I was just like, oh god, like, I know, Judy, that you're really trying to find time for yourself, but life is very unpredictable. When things arrive, like, you can't control when unpredictable things like that, like, sometimes you just have to take it as they come. And it's just like, I'm just so excited. Like, I don't know if it's gonna develop into something romantic, but whatever does develop between Judy and Butch, I just feel like it can be so good for Judy just to kind of be a reminder that, just because something so important to you is no longer something you can hold, doesn't mean that new and important things can come along in their wake. And so I feel like just having Judy be, surrounded by, or like live beside someone who is just so much like her and just kind of understands her idiosyncrasies, because they also have the same idiosyncrasies. I think that's so cute. Like, I'm so excited. Like, I'm really trying not to force it. Like, if they interact on my island, it's whatever, but it's like, let's see how it goes. But for now, they're just like very unlikely but strangely compatible neighbors, and possibly something more in the future. But that's kind of the story of how and why I am building their yard today, and just how that idea came about. So over here, again, as you can see, I solved the problem of the entrance not being designed. Let's design it a little bit, because I think as Judy and Butch are looking for a quiet place to stay, I think it would be nice for them to have just the designed entrance where they can just kind of like retire for the day, and then the minute that they see the road leading up to their houses, it just kind of washes them with a feeling of relief. It's kind of nice. And so I laid out some benches and a few more like city core type designs, because again, it's still kind of still part of the city, but it's just a little more laid back at the back of the island here. So I didn't want to do anything too crazy, just maybe like a fire hydrant so they're safe and like one of those nice trash cans, just so it has the feel of a city still. But honestly, like designing this island, like I was just so giddy. I was like, oh, like I was imagining them just sitting like at night as well, with all the lights on and everything, and then they're just sitting in silence, and none of them break the silence at all. They just kind of let the silence fill the air, and it's not uncomfortable. It feels right. It feels right. And you know what? They both deserve to feel that way. So I don't know. Stay tuned for any developments in the Judy and Butch saga. My little galaxy bear and my sweet, sweet, cranky Rottweiler. I'm so excited for the story to develop. But I guess, yeah, that's for the most part how I designed this entrance area. Nothing too crazy, just a few flowers and the benches and stuff. Just I also end up replacing these birds of paradise with a pampas grass instead. But yeah, that's how it looks so far. So let's go and take a look. Coming from the center of the city, when you go over here on this road, it leads straight up to their houses. So there you can see the pampas grass, and just a little area you can just kind of like sit and stay for a while, enjoy the quiet that Judy and Butch have created for themselves. And as you come up, you have some lanterns here to light your way, just so it's not too dark. But honestly, the whole area is very properly lit with like all these party lights and these lanterns at the back, because these two really like they don't like the complete darkness. They just like very moody and like dim and easy on the eyes type of lighting. So here we have their small little garden areas that they have, and just their bikes parked right next to each other, which also gives them pause, because it's like, wow, we have the same bike. But this is where they come to sit during the twilight time of the day, and just kind of bask in the silence and the waves that they hear at the back of their house, and just let the day wash over them, and let the good stay and the bad just kind of fall away from them. And I feel like that's really nice. So I also wanted to show you guys how it would look like at night, because I feel like with all the little lighting items, I feel like it would give it a really nice glow. Which is, I am only now realizing that I designed their ponds as hearts. So I'm like, again, I'm not trying to insinuate anything, but if anything ever happens, I'm really excited. But it looks so glowy at night. It's so perfect. I'm just so happy with how this turned out. I tried not to clutter it too much because I didn't want to put too many things in the way, but that's how it looks for now. That's Judy and Butch yards for ya. And I guess we'll really have to wait and see what happens between those two. So again, thank you guys for watching and coming with me to do another build. I hope to do even more in the future. So stay tuned for that, and catch y'all later. Bye.